Hey there, and welcome back to English Pump Podcast, where we dive into today's top news stories to boost your English skills. I'm Mark, and today we're unpacking one of the most chaotic and headline-grabbing diplomatic events in recent memory, a White House meeting that went off the rails. Picture this: the Ukrainian president, Volodymyr Zelensky, arriving at the White House with high hopes of sealing a pivotal minerals deal, only to be abruptly shown the exit by the Trump administration. Let's set the stage. Zelensky's visit was meant to be a significant step toward finalizing a minerals deal that would not only tie Ukraine's economic future to American interests, but also secure much-needed security assurances. On paper, the idea was simple. By agreeing to this deal, Ukraine would strengthen its partnership with the United States and gain extra diplomatic leverage over ongoing conflicts. But as the meeting unfolded, it quickly became clear that there were deep disagreements about the deal's terms and the overall direction of U.S. policy. According to eyewitnesses, the atmosphere shifted dramatically about 43 minutes into the session. What began as a formal discussion soon devolved into a heated debate. Trump and members of his cabinet, including figures like J.D. Vance, found themselves at odds with Zelensky. The heart of the conflict was Zelensky's insistence on demanding NATO-level security guarantees in exchange for signing the minerals deal. For Trump's team, this wasn't just a matter of negotiation. It was seen as a demand that risked dragging the United States into a prolonged conflict. In Trump's own words, the objective was peace, not an endless war. He stressed that America's goal was to secure the minerals deal to fund post-war reconstruction without binding the nation to further military commitments. Yet Zelensky's approach, which some critics labeled as unprofessional and overly aggressive, ended up undermining what might have been a mutually beneficial agreement. In a dramatic turn, Trump reportedly kicked Zelensky out of the White House, a move that sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles. Now, before we continue, let's explain some of the main English terms used in today's episode, as this podcast is designed for English students. Diplomacy. This refers to the art and practice of conducting negotiations between countries. It involves dialogue, negotiation, and compromise to resolve conflicts peacefully. Security assurances. These are promises made by one country to support or protect another. In our story, Ukraine was asking for guarantees that its security would be upheld, especially in exchange for signing the minerals deal. Leverage. In a diplomatic context, leverage means having an advantage or influence over another party, often used to negotiate better terms. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. This is a military alliance formed by several countries to provide collective defense. When Zelensky demands NATO-level protection, he is asking for a level of security guarantee that only an alliance like NATO can offer. Proxy war. This term refers to a conflict where two opposing countries support different sides instead of fighting each other directly. In this case, some commentators worry that involving NATO might escalate the conflict into a proxy war. Returning to our story, critics, including some political allies of Ukraine, have questioned Zelensky's behavior. Some believe his conduct was disrespectful to diplomatic protocols and could have lasting repercussions for Ukraine's international relationships. Meanwhile, supporters of Trump argue that his actions were necessary to keep the United States out of further military entanglements. As the dust settles, one thing is clear: both the minerals deal and the diplomatic fallout depend on complex negotiations and competing visions of peace. With Ukraine's future and its strategic position at stake, this drama at the White House could have a lasting impact on international relations. That wraps up today's episode of English Pump Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Stay with us as we continue to follow this developing story and help you understand the key terms that shape our world. Until next time, bye.